Hello, everybody. This is Goldfinger from the Goldfinger Minute. And with me today, I am interviewing Tom. He is a neighbor that I met at Ground Zero, and he lives right up the street from me, and we've had coffee together a few times. Tom, so hello, say hi.
Hello there.
So, tell us a little bit about what you did back in the States, and then we're going to get into what you're doing here.
I was an elevator installer for 20 something years, retired. My parents needed a caregiver in Florida, so in 2019 I moved down there. 3 years later, they all went to heaven, and I decided to start traveling. I went to Europe for a month, came back, and then I'm like, where am I going to go now? And I started watching YouTube, and Paul Old Dog New Tricks popped up. Mike's Philippine Retirement. You were on some of the videos, and I thought, seems good to me. Let's go. So
Did you consider any other country? Have you been to other countries?
I thought about Croatia, but they didn't speak a lot of English. The money goes a long way there. I was kind of pointed toward Europe, but like I say, I seen your guys' videos here in Dumagetti, the bloggers.
Pretty sure Europe's more expensive than the Philippines.
Mark Thornton, seen his stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, well, Croatia, the rent in Croatia is the same as it is here,
Okay.
but they don't speak English, a lot of them. So
Oh, that's a big draw for the Philippines is the language, because I spent 2 years in Mexico and I had to learn Spanish, so they don't know too much English in where I was, in a small town, fishing town, all the way on the South Pacific coast. Anyway, back to you. Okay, so you've been here. This is your second trip here, is my understanding. Your
yes,
first trip was last year.
April, May last year was the exploratory trip.
Uh-huh.
I met a Filipino woman on Facebook through Mike's Philippine Retirement.
Okay.
His wife has a channel too. And I sent both of them friend requests, and they both accepted. And I went into his wife's friends list and found my girl.
So you friend requested both of them, and they both responded, and you found your current lady. Could I have her first name?
Judy.
Judy. So you found Judy from Mike's Filipino. Uh, what's it called? Philippine
Mike's Philippine Retirement
Retirement. Mike's Philippine Retirement.
uh,
But you found it through Judy's channel,
through his wife's
through
channel,
his wife's channel.
Janet.
I'm sorry, through
Janet's
Janet's
channel.
channel.
Some
And
people say that that's kind of stalkish, but I don't see it that way.
well, and you liked what you saw. She
Yeah,
interviewed her, and
I
you liked the
liked
voice, and you
I
liked what you
liked her
heard.
looks, her voice. I liked what she was posting. I liked the kinds of clothes she was wearing. She was simple, and that's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for somebody that's doing their nails once a week and spending mega pesos on hairdo and makeup and clothes. I wanted a simple Filipino woman,
All right.
and that's what I got.
And she's lived up to that even to this day.
Above and beyond
That's good.
any
That's great.
expectations I
Yeah.
could even imagine.
I'm going to interrupt. So your camera is actually right here. I
Oh,
know you're looking at me,
yeah, it's
but
common
they're going to be
courtesy
seeing.
to
I
keep.
know. But your camera's right there. Let's let you know, because we're
Okay.
still experimenting here. I'm a newbie, so we're still experimenting. I'm looking at you, and I'm realizing I should be looking at the camera, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're disrespecting
The audience.
the audience.
So that's cool. So you came over for 2 months and spent time with her, I assume.
Yes, sightseeing, spending time together, dinners, long drives.
She speaks good enough English. You were able to converse.
Yeah, she speaks decent English. N- it's like there's a disconnect.
Okay.
She does speak English, but there is a disconnect. For her, it's my slang.
Okay.
And the words I use, she don't know.
All right.
So you have to realize that when you come here and you're talking to a lot of the Filipino people, they speak English, but it's not the
It's a
same
different.
English
Yeah.
that you're speaking.
Okay. Now, you went home and you made plans to come back.
Yeah, I went home for 2 months. I came back in September and I've been here for 8 months. I bought a scooter, I bought a van, and I bought a house. And
You've been busy. You-
I'm an all-in kind of person. I always have been,
I haven't
to a
seen.
fault.
I actually haven't seen your house that you built or bought, and you've been improving it for the last month or two, I think.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of pesos and time westernizing a split aircon, hot water in the shower,
How,
plus the
is it okay to
things.
ask how much the house was in pesos,
It was one
or do you know it in dollars?
1,670,000 pesos for the house, and then I dropped probably 300,000 pesos into uh, basically totally renovated the entire house. Concrete, the whole yard's
Under thirty
concrete.
thousand for the house,
Yeah,
and then how much on improvements?
I would say materials and labor about 300, 250, 300,000 pesos.
Yeah, I'm sitting here checking on the calculator here. All
Like
right, so
five or six
five
thousand.
thousand, 5,200 on improvements, and it's just about done.
Yeah, it's the only thing left is a cabinet in the kitchen, which the contractor's gonna hand make that and install it.
Now you own the house,
The house is in my name, the land is in her name.
and you went through a lawyer.
Yes, I found Cebu First, real estate lady,
Hmm.
accidentally on Facebook. She has a lawyer that she's been working with for 5 years now, and he suggested you need to protect yourself. I've seen too many foreigners coming in here crying the blues because they
Well, yeah,
didn't
we all hear
protect
that.
themselves. So,
So you, what did you do? We got to make it a little quicker. We have a lot to cover here.
what do you mean? What did I do?
Well, I know you did a lease. You did a lease option.
Yeah,
Uh,
lease option. The house is in my name, the land is in her name, which means she can't sell it or rent it without my permission and vice versa. That's all it
like,
means.
and as I remember, you told me 50 year,
Yeah,
50 year lease, and you protected yourself through the lawyer.
yes.
And in the end, you'll be gone. She'll own it all.
Yep.
Will she own the house as well, even though the house is in your name?
It, I would have to will it to her, I
Okay.
imagine. We haven't went that
All right.
far yet.
And
But
how many bedroom bathroom was it?
2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. The property is 86 square meters, and then the house, I believe, is 56 square meters. It's like a small 2 bedroom condo.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than the condos at Marina Spatial,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but that's what it reminds me of. It's a box.
It's smaller, but
Yeah,
you have air conditioning and you got a
yeah,
roof over your head. You
yeah.
got a kitchen.
It's got a brand new roof. It's got aircon, hot water. It's all been painted
I'm sure she's
inside.
happy.
Oh yeah.
She comes from where?
Uh,
Where does Judy come from?
south of Dipolog and Mindanao,
So she's a province. She's a
up in the
province girl.
mountains. She's a mountain province girl that grew up without electricity and water. They walk to the river for their water and they're bathing. So yeah,
Pretty primitive. It sounds.
primitive. I'm sure she's very
It
happy.
was Judy, right?
Yeah,
What is Judy's name? I'm sorry. What is Judy's age?
43.
And so you didn't go for the 20-year-olds
In
like most of the expats
2019,
do.
I went for a 20-year-old and it was very expensive and very fun, and all she wanted to do was cocaine. So,
Oh my goodness. How do they find that? I don't even know. I don't want to know how they found that here. Okay. You should be doing drugs here.
No, you don't want you don't want to be like that Russian blogger that just got deported acting like a
That's another story. So,
not
yeah,
nice person.
not yeah. Well, and drugs will get you killed with the last president. So,
Yeah, right.
you know, it's pretty dangerous to do drugs here. It's not as common as it would be, say, back in the States. But, in any case, so she's a bit old. And what age are you?
58.
58. So she's a lot closer in age. There's not as big an age gap, which is makes things easier, I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't want a younger
What
person.
what did she do before you guys got together? Did she have a job, a career?
A full-time student for tourism and hospitality,
Okay.
bachelor's degree.
Here in Duma?
Yeah, which she'll be finishing in 28 days.
So
She'll
she's
be
still
done.
going to school.
28 more days and that's it.
That's
She's
it.
done.
And
Yeah.
then she now you is she planning on working?
No, she's got 3 children that she's gonna raise, so
You're gonna bring them in to your home?
yeah,
Have you met them?
no.
Not at all.
Nope.
What age are they?
12, 14, and 17.
Yeah.
So, but I've had a ready-made family before. My ex-wife had 2 children, so
Okay.
for me, it's just extra fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
it doesn't worry you, doesn't
it,
scare you?
no, it's just something to keep.
Something
I
different.
like being occupied,
Okay,
so
yeah, yeah.
that is a gap filler.
Now, I also know you bought a vehicle, because you
Yeah,
were riding a bike. You rented a bike from me, for a little short time, and then you went out and bought a bike, and then you bought a vehicle. You bought a van,
yeah, a little unicab they call them.
Unicabs. It's a little Chinese-made van that they ship over from China. They put it together so they don't have import fees, and then it's a cute little. It runs fine. I've been in it, and it runs great. And how much was the van?
It was about $4,900, so
U.S.
US,
So
so
just under 5,000
it
US
was
dollars.
yeah, it was
Was
and
licensing, registration a problem?
it comes with 1 year registration, 1 year insurance, a 5 month warranty on major parts.
Yeah. It's pretty simple then because, in the States, you got to go through an awful lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I just walked in there, gave them my ID, gave them a bill from the water department,
mm.
and instant credit.
Oh,
But it's expensive. I'm gonna pay it off in 6 months.
okay. So you're making
It
payments.
is expensive. But if you don't have the money and you need a vehicle, it's just like in the States with a credit card, it's 30% interest if you don't have
I
good
don't know if it's
credit.
30% interest on a credit
If you
card.
don't have good credit, I got 4 in my wallet that are at 25, 30% interest.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't have
So,
my
but you
credit
do plan on
score is
paying them.
700 and they're still charging 30%
That's
interest.
crazy. I know I went the other day and I wanted to buy a big screen TV and I went into Robinson's. Real quick story. I saw this TV that was 75-inch and it was a TCL. Nice. It's called a Q something or other. It's the new higher electronic digital clear like you wouldn't believe. It was incredible. I was thinking about buying it. And they had dropped it to almost half the price. It was 85,000 pesos. They dropped it to 45,000 pesos. And it said right on there you could make 24 payments. Okay? And when you make 24 payments, ended up being about 60,000 with the payments because it said the total with payments over 12 months. I'm like, well, I think it was like 5,000, roughly five. It was just under 5,000 a month pesos, which is less than $100. I can afford that. Okay, that's cool. So I says, well, how difficult is it to get credit? She says, well, who do you bank with? I says, I bank with BDO. She says, you have her card? She goes, sure. So she said, can I take the card and check on it? And I said, yeah. I gave her the card. She checks. She comes back. She says, all you have to do is swipe it, and now you're automatically get 12 months payments, and your first payment doesn't start for 30 days. I go, really? I was kind of shocked. I'll be honest
Yeah,
with you. I was a little shocked because credit in the States, you fill out forms. They want to do a credit check. They want to know what your score is. They want to go through all three agencies. You know how that is.
yeah,
You have to pay fees for that. No, it was literally 2 minutes. And she says, we just slide your card and your first payment will be in a month and we'll deliver the TV to you. It was very tempting. Okay. but I made
Yeah.
a promise to myself to kind of cut back. I've spent a lot on a lot of things in the last few months, so I'm trying to build up a little bit of cash reserve. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it, but I still am thinking about it. So it is amazing here that you can get credit so easily here. They take credit cards and they give you credit. They really do. Uh,
Yeah,
I
they
know you can
make
get
it.
motorbikes with credit too. Not at the Honda dealerships, but at the other dealerships that sell Hondas and other makes. Uh, they charge a couple thousand extra on top of the base Honda price, and then they finance you and charge you a horrible interest. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
it's
mean that's what they do. Take
yeah,
the risk,
it's
and there's no qualifying.
if I paid this van off in 3 years,
Oh, it'll be expensive.
it'd be instead of paying almost 300,000 pesos, I would pay 500,000 pesos,
So it's
which ain't mega
almost
money,
double the price, but that's
you
ridiculous.
know.
It'll be it's
Yeah, it's
5,000
craziness.
US dollars, and you're going to be paying 9,000.
9,000.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But for a
why bother?
van, it's a 2016
Yeah, but that's
van,
still
so
cheap
I
for a
mean that
vehicle.
ain't even it's crazy. The prices here are crazy.
Now I know it was a used vehicle. How do you know how many kilometers or miles it was on it?
It was I did the translation. It was like 82,000 miles.
Okay, so it is a new, but yeah, vehicles today will run a couple 100,000 miles if you change the oil, stuff like that. So it's probably fine. So that's okay.
It's a
So now you
used
got the
car.
house, you got the van, you got the girl. What's next?
SRRB
Going
military.
for it.
s-
Oh,
uh,
you're military. You're from military?
Yeah, 3 years
Oh,
stationed in Germany, generator mechanic.
okay. So for those who don't know, if you have military and you have what do they call it when you have good you
Honorable
honorable
discharge.
discharge, which I don't have, unfortunately. The cost of that is about 1,500 US dollars and another 1,500 deposited in a bank or savings of some sort. And it's pretty reasonable. That's US dollars. Now, if not, you have to put $10,000 into an account and it's 1,500 US dollars. Okay, to get the SRRV, which will allow you to stay here. You don't have to file every 2 months because they no longer have 6 month visas. And you do have to. What are the other requirements other than do you have to check in?
You have to have a clearance from the USA,
Okay.
uh,
Uh
like at the police
Police
station.
station
There's some
clearance.
kind of clearance. JRC, if you give them a couple $100 extra, you don't have to fly home to get that, is the
Right.
way I understand that. And
Uh,
then a medical clearance, which you can get here, your uh, honorable discharge, and that might be it. There might be one more thing, but everything is through JRC, everything's easy.
and how much does GRC? Is that the
Uh,
$1,500 that GRC is charging, or they charge on top of that?
they're charging, you got to do your 1,500, and then I believe it's $600 for them to do your paperwork and all the other things that are involved. And then 200 and something so you don't have to fly back to
Oh, for your
for
yeah.
your clearance at the police station. If you don't have them do that, you have to go back to wherever you're
Now,
from.
I wonder if somebody, a relative, could get that for you. Do you have to be present to get that? It
I
wouldn't
don't
think. Well, I wouldn't think so because GRC is doing it.
I don't know. I
Uh,
I haven't
I,
got that far into it.
I did get a police clearance when I had to carry a concealed weapons carry permit. I had jewelry stores in Las Vegas, and I had to get a clearance from them to have that. But I went to the police station. It wasn't. It was under $50 for the whole thing. Um,
Yeah, I'm
it
not
took like a
sure.
week.
I mean, I'll have to call. I'll just call the police station and ask them, what
Yeah, you
do
could
I
ask
need to do to get a?
for the
Do I
city.
have to be there, or what's going on
Yeah,
here? Because maybe I can. They have a portal you can go
yeah. Like,
into,
everything's online these days. You can prove
and
who you are online.
right.
Yeah.
So I don't, or you know, obviously JRC figured out how to do it. So,
Well, I guarantee you they're doubling or tripling their money
oh,
over and
they're
above the cost. I'm sure it costs some money, but it takes more time than money. But the time here is cheap. Labor's cheap. So if they're charging 200, I'm sure you could do it for less than 100. Um, how long is the total time that they said would take for you to get your SRRV from start to finish?
I I haven't got that far
You
yet.
don't know yet. Okay.
It's that's what's next,
Okay.
but I'm not finished with completely with the house. Almost. I got that cabinet to do. Uh,
Are you married to Judy?
no,
You're not married to Judy. If you were married, you would get the 13A, which
that'd be an option. I don't know which one's better, which one's less
and
expensive,
I'm going to
which
look
one's
into that. We're going to
easier.
go into that in
If
another
you get the
series.
13A and she
I know.
decides to can
You
you,
know,
you don't have a
the
13A.
13A is after you're married. You have to be
Yeah.
married to a citizen, and you can get the 13A for a lot less money. There's a few more hoops to jump. However, you have to stay in good relationship with your spouse. And if the spouse complains about you or files against you, you'll lose your 13A status. However, after you lose the status, you can go back to a tourist. As long as you didn't do anything wrong, you can go back to a tourist visa and file for an SRRV. But there are little differences, and I'm going to go into that in a future series about the differences of those, what it takes. I myself do not know all the ins and outs. I might have JR come here from JRC and talk a little bit about that. Now, do you plan on marrying?
Yeah, that's coming down the line. That's
Not in a rush.
there's a few hoops that have to, because we're in the Philippines, there are a few hoops to be jumped
Yes, there
through,
are.
just like almost everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually, I mean, I don't have any complaints as far as that goes
Okay.
with the relationship or
So you're
every.
a permanent resident now. Do you have anything back home? You have something to go back home to or take care of back home?
Well, I'm trying to sell my double wide. I lived in a 55 and older community.
Okay.
I have a van, a handicapped van that I bought when my mother was paralyzed. So
Okay.
I'm selling both of those.
They're
Uh,
listed for sale.
yeah,
I believe in Florida, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. I have a family in Michigan that I'll go back and visit once a year,
Right.
and that's it.
What about children?
No children. The
Okay.
ex-wife, the agreement was I told the ex-wife, I'm not going to marry you unless you give me a child. I was 32 years old, no children. She said, well, I'm not going to give you a child unless you marry me. So we got married. Come to
Catch
find
22.
out, she was barren. She couldn't have children.
Did you know that?
I, she never told me about it.
Oh,
Did she
okay.
know that? I don't know. Maybe,
Hmm.
maybe not. But she was barren, so I don't have any children. So she had two
Oh, maybe
children.
it's all for the better. You know, maybe it's all for the best.
Yeah, I mean, who
Looking at it
knows?
from now.
Yeah, it could have been godsend,
Yeah.
you
So
know, the
you're going to become a permanent resident of the Philippines, of Dumaguete.
yes, yeah, I'm not leaving anywhere or anytime soon. It's too nice here. Even
What do
with
you like about it?
I like the barking dogs, the
Yes, I
roosters. I
love
love the
barking
way these
dogs.
people
I
drive.
had some dogs
It's
bark earlier.
awesome here.
Yeah, you like
I
it.
love the hot weather, just like
Well, Florida,
Florida.
you would, because it's like Florida.
But
I came from California and Nevada. It's humid. It's very humid for me. It took a long
yeah,
time to get used to it, but
I
uh,
like everything. But I've always been a like an explorer
mhm.
type person, looking for the journey and everything that comes with it. There are things I don't like the way people drive, brownouts. Most of them are scheduled, so you can prepare. Not all of them are scheduled. The last house I rented, the Wi-Fi was not good. Now where we are now, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So location, location, location.
Are you still in Dumaguete or are you in the next
Vanillard.
battle? You're still Battle Lad. I'm in Battle Lad too, so
Yeah,
we're still in
if you
Dumaguete.
took a powerful slingshot and pointed it that way and let it
South.
go, the rock would land on top of my house.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how
yeah,
close
yeah.
I
That's
am.
how close we're close. Yeah, we're very close. Yeah, I'm in Banalad too. Banalad is a barangay within Dumaguete. There's many barangays, hundreds, like little towns within a city. So yeah, so you have the same. We're in the same barangay, very close. Uh, you bought the motorcycles, I remember. What did you
Yeah.
buy?
Yamaha Geo Gear 125cc.
Is it? It's not a scooter.
Yeah, it's a
It
scooter.
is a scooter.
Yeah.
It's the Yamaha Geo. That's a 125. What do you plan on doing with that?
I'm gonna let her oldest boy, when he starts college here in
Okay.
Dumagetti, utilize it back and forth. So
You plan on him going to school and
yeah, he's
living at the house.
all of her kids will be going to college. They don't
Okay.
have a choice. Their mother will make sure that happens.
You've had this discussion.
Yes, that will happen, regardless.
That's the plan anyway. But of course, he's 17. The boy's the oldest.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, he's already talking. They all three of the kids are like big time into school,
That's good.
like a
Well,
lot of Filipino children.
Filipino children here are very studious.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're big
And the only way
time.
to get ahead here is to go to school, but it's just not all families can afford that. And
Yeah, no,
she's very lucky she has you to be able to afford to send her children to school because uh, her on a job for hotel management or things like that would be very difficult to send three children to school, especially college. She wouldn't have enough money.
it wouldn't
No, it
happen.
wouldn't
They would
happen.
have to, like a lot of families, they'll pick one child, and that child will be the lucky child that gets to go to college, and the
Yeah.
other kids will end up going and working at
However, the
McDonald's
other
or
kids, the one that goes to school and gets a big job, sends money back home for
yeah,
the children to
that's
go
the
to
plan.
school.
That is the plan. Hopefully you got a good child that's dedicated like
You
that.
have a better chance here than you do in the States. I'll just let you
Oh,
know that.
oh yeah. I don't even want to talk
They're
about.
very family conscious here, which is a big plus. They're very nice here. They're very helpful. The Filipino people are very helpful, very nice. They're very. It's walking back in time. How many years back? You're at that age. You
75.
yeah. It's
And
like
the women,
75 years back in
if
time.
you find a good woman that is domesticated here, like when we're done eating and I go grab the plate off the table, that's a no-no.
That's a no. She's cleaning the
If
table.
there's
She's
a
cleaning.
pile of dirty clothes in the bedroom and I want to bring it to the wash station, that's a no-no. When I take a shower, every time I take a shower, she's in there washing my back.
Really?
I mean, it's the
Wow.
only dedication that I've ever seen like that was when I was stationed in Germany. And the first girl I met, we were out dancing, stayed the night. She woke me up, had a hot bath drawn. I got in the bathtub. She scrubbed me down, lit a cigarette for me, brought me a cup of coffee with some Osbach in it, which is like whiskey, and fed it to
You know
me.
what? I'm glad we had this conversation because as soon as Carolyn gets back from the market, we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
What she's lacking for me because you're going to do better than I am. I'll tell you
Well,
right now.
you can start the discussion. You can get your back scrubber and snap it in half.
Carolyn has never scrubbed my back. I clear my dishes. I wash dishes. Actually, I enjoy washing dishes. She didn't like me to. She didn't want me to, but I like washing dishes. I do not wash laundry. I don't clean house. She does clean house. So, however, we've hired somebody now. It's a big house now, and it's a lot more work 'cause we have two dogs. But so I have somebody that I forgot what they call it, but a
Well,
yaya that kind of comes in and takes care of things.
you can look at it two ways. My girlfriend won't let me do that stuff, but your girlfriend respects you enough to let you do
There's two ways to look at it.
these. So, which way do you want to
She
look
never
at it?
offered to scrub my back though.
Right.
I started laughing when she came in to do that. That'd be not used to that. That's bizarre. Okay. That's awesome though.
Trust me, I was surprised too. But as I say, the only time I've never experienced that in America. In Germany, I did because, well, the German ladies, they, you know, I don't know if they did that because they wanted to marry you and go to the United States. I don't know
Well, it could be the same thing
or they
here
were
too as
brought
well.
up. That's what their mother did, and that's how they were raised.
Was Judy ever married or she date previous to you?
Yeah, she was married 20 years ago. Um,
And what happened
and
there?
and for some reason they separated. Then she met a new man. They had three children together,
With a new man, not married.
not married.
Ah.
And then she moved here for schooling, and dated a couple foreigners who ended up
So
cheating.
she's taking care of the house, household chores, and she's going to school.
Yeah.
That's very dedicated.
When I go to bed at 9 o'clock, she's at the sink, washing clothes by hand,
And what time does she have to be at school the next day?
7 a.m.
That's incredible.
And she will not go to sleep
I
until,
will say, Carolyn, my fiance, we're not married. We will eventually, but she's up. I go to bed. I'm tired. 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm pretty tired,
yeah,
and
me too.
she'll give me a back massage. She will give me a back. She'll put ligament
I've
oils.
never had a back massage.
She gives me back
What do you
massages
mean you got a back? How did you get that?
almost every
I'll
night.
trade you the
I have a
back wash for the
I've
back
been down
massage.
so many times on a motorbike on my right side. My shoulder hurts, my hip hurts, my ankle hurts. She puts together uh, uh, alcohol with avocado seeds with some other root or leaf, and she ferments it or something, and then she rubs it on there and it works. It takes away the pain. So I'm not taking because she doesn't want me taking Tylenol all the time.
Did she go to Sikihor and get that from the healers, the white magic
No, no, she
healers?
has somebody from the province that gave her some, and they showed her how to make it, so she makes it herself. But yeah, she rubs it on me and gives me a massage, and I fall asleep. And she's up. I'll wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning to to use the CR, polite way of saying it, here is CR, comfort room, and I'll see the light on, and she's in her office and still doing drawings because she does chalk drawings and drawings for portraits for people on the side. So studious. She's very studious. She teaches kids. Uh, Elementary, junior high, and high school. She teaches kids, and she knows more about math than I do. And I'm pretty damn good at math. She corrects me on English. I'll ask her to spell words. She knows spell. She all day long on her phone. On she uses. She watches things that have questions,
Yeah,
worldly questions. So you know how this day, so ask somebody how many months are in the year, and they're like, "Mm," or how many
yeah,
days there are in a year, or or how many, or,
yeah.
or what,
Common
how many
sense.
quarters make a dollar? So
Yeah,
she way beyond that, way beyond that. She's doing calculus. Okay, I don't know calculus anymore. You know, she does. I look at the math that she does on a board, and I'm like, I don't remember. I don't know if I ever did learn that. I mean, that's ridiculous. And that's what she's teaching high school kids. That's what they're doing calculus. They're doing geometry. Beyond algebra is like grade school. They're teaching
yeah,
algebra in grade school. They don't have a junior high. They have a grade school and they have a high school. There's not three levels of education. There's two levels. It's amazing. Anyway, we're getting kind of long. We're at 30 minutes. So
yeah. Once I hit calculus, I stalled out.
yeah, I didn't make it to calculus. That got too much. I was pretty good at
I
math,
made it
basic
three
math.
days and then transferred out of that
She,
class.
it's amazing. They can ask her crazy questions. Name an animal that starts with the letter H, and she'll name 20 of them. Okay, I mean, it's like, I don't even know what that animal is. Is that a real animal? Did you make it up? I have to go look at it. I Google it. Yeah, it's a real animal. She's amazing. Anyway, appreciate you coming in, giving us your time, your story. It's interesting. We're going to do a follow up in 6 months.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
at least 6 months, we'll do a follow up. Remind me if I forget. We'll do a follow up and let us know what you're doing. Because and you also, real quick, you also have a contractor that you used, and you wanted to plug him a little bit. I will have in the information on my channel the contractor you used because he was excellent. You could tell us a little bit. It was Arnell, wasn't it? What
Yeah,
was?
it's R&L Construction and Manpower Services.
Yes,
Uh,
and he'd met everything of your needs. His prices were fair. He didn't
yeah,
gouge you.
prices were fair. I did excellent work. If you go on YouTube and you punch in foreigner friendly services, you will see,
I have
the
his card.
videos will pop
I
up.
have his card right here. I'm going to hold it. And oh wait, we got to go this way and that way, and then I'm going to put it in the comments too. But he does electrical, plumbing. He did welding. He made a carport for you. He did kitchen. He
Concrete,
did plumbing, kitchen, electrical,
plumbing,
everything.
concrete, air
So
con installation, hot water. He can westernize your house when you move here.
So if you get over here and you need somebody, and I'm going to use him too because I want to put in a gate opener for my gate, I can order it online, but putting it together, doing the electrical for it and the mechanical of it is already I don't have time for it. It's too damn hot out there. I don't want to do it. I don't even. I got too old. I have all the
Yeah.
tools. I have it in my head, but when I go to physically do something, I don't know. It's like 10 times harder than I remember it ever being. Okay. I can't see with my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. I'm sitting there trying to screw a nut on, and I realize that it's the wrong nut. One's metric, I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the line, and I got all the tools. Okay. And I know
Yeah.
it in my head, but when I actually go to do it, it's difficult now. It's difficult. I can't work on my own vehicles. I don't work on my own bikes. It's
If I can afford to pay somebody to do it
I
at
don't have the
this
patience.
point,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna
I don't
pay
have the
somebody to
patience.
do
I
it.
get pissed. I start cussing, and then I throw the shit down and say, "Fuck, I'll tell somebody." Oh, excuse the
Right.
language.
Well, especially here, the exchange rate, by time you
It's
turn
so
your
cheap for labor.
by time you turn your Trump money into Filipino money, you're looking pretty good.
An expert carpenter or everything else is working on less than 500 pesos a day. A day, not an hour. Eight and a half, $9 a day is what they figure what they pay for a guy that could do welding or plumbing. That's absurd. Anyway, we're gonna go. I appreciate you coming on. I'll have this up in the next couple days, and thank you very much, Tom.
You're welcome.
All right,
C'est la vie.
c'est la vie.